everybody. And Simon, again, many thanks for having me here. As always, I really enjoy talking with RTCT members. So yeah, looking forward to getting some of the new guys who are logging in, and some of you may already know me from my previous presentation. Basically, I'm the Chief Market Strategist at BindalFX. If anybody wants to get in touch with me, that's the email and that's the website. I won't waste too much time over the presentation because I really want to go straight into the charts, which is the main event of the day. I just want to go through some dates for your diary, some live seminars and webinar. We got a free webinar on psychology, paradigm shift for trading success. That's 20th of June, UK time. You can get the details, which should be on our Facebook page. We got a 7-hour live trading webinar, which is on 17th of June. We start at 7:30 a.m. in the morning till the US market close. This is basically the whole day. So like what you see here today for a couple of hours, we tend to do it on a regular basis. Thirdly, we got a whole day event, provided the lockdown ends. This is a live in person. We tend to have a live trading seminars every 2 months, 3 months, and also we have done seminars all over the world. But this one will be in Sussex near Gatwick Airport. Obviously, if we don't do the live in person, then we'll change that to a webinar. But hoping everything should be all well and good by 31st of July. And obviously, that's our coaching packages if anybody is interested in. Earlier on, I was talking about oil, what a crash it was. And if we look at the prices now, it is way above the zero mark, which ended up in April. Now, I always believe that the market is right, okay? At the end of the day, if the market wants to go down, you just go with the flow. There is no such thing as buy one, get one free or buy one, get 10 free. No, there is no such thing. Yeah. And oil was a classic example. It not only went down to zero, but it went down to -40. Yeah. Who are we to question why it went to -40? And who are we to say, oh, it's ridiculous, or why should one want to buy when it is at $2? Okay. The key is focus on what your trading plan is telling you, focus on your trading system, and only trade if your trading system gives you a signal. So for example, during that week, our system was just saying sell, 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 sell. So at every rebound, we're just looking to sell the market. And we do live trading webinars and broadcasts, and this is something which I covered extensively in my broadcast. And I was telling members, please, for heaven's sake, do not buy. Couple of them actually tried to outsmart the market. They bought and they got wiped out, but vast majority of the members were following the system. Okay, this is very simple. BindalFX indicators, what we're really looking at is when all the bars are red or a minimum of 2 bars red, we're looking to sell, and there should be confluences of indicators. This is the Bindal alert. This is the trigger line. When it's red, I'm looking to sell. When it's green, I'm looking to buy. So we always look for confluences. No one indicator is enough. And then we got these colored lines here, which are proprietary Bindal pivot points. And what we do is we look for bounces at those levels. Yeah. So again, as we go through the day, hopefully we should have lots of opportunities to look into it in great detail. Also, one of the things what we do is with our members, we do live trading broadcasts throughout the day. And, every day we got, zillions of trades every week. And graduate members are able to, trade on their own. When newbie joins us, obviously they need hand holding. So effectively, we just tell them of what's on our watch list. Yeah. So here, a classic example here, Euro, Aussie dollar, get ready to pounce. And then a signal comes in, and taking the trade is just one part of it, but the most important is the managing the trade. Now, if the price action is not doing what you expect it to do, you really want to get the hell out of the trade. You want to cut the losses and let the winners run. Okay, I repeat, you need to cut the losses and let the winners run. You are going to become rich by letting the winners run. Often what majority of retail traders do, and this is evident from the statistics from the brokers. I've seen some brokers web pages having 85 to 90% of their members losing money. Now that need not be the case, right? That need not be the case, as I've illustrated in my book, Forex Mastery Child's Play. And let me tell you one thing, it truly is a child's play. Yeah, it truly is a child's play. Often the reason people are failing is that A, they don't invest in themselves. Here, I mean, by way of personal development, mental fitness, learning the trading system, doing the trading journals, learning from the mistakes. Often what many retail traders are doing is they go to a weekend seminar, and on Monday morning, they want to do an open heart surgery. No, it doesn't work like that. Yeah, if you look at doctors, it's taken them many years to do what they do. If you look at accountants, it takes them many years. If you look at solicitors, it takes them many, many years. So why should trading be any different? You cannot learn it in a weekend free seminar. No, it takes time. So if you really want to succeed in trading, you need to invest in yourself. And one of the amazing things which Simon's doing is having these fantastic seminars on a regular basis with fantastic speakers. And I'm sure you're learning lots of stuff from each and every one of them. So the key is you got to ensure that you work on your trading system. Yeah. Okay. So that's the presentation done. So let's move over onto the charts. You should now be able to see 8 charts. So these are the charts which I shall cover today. What you have here is GBP USD, Euro dollar, Canadian, Aussie. I got the German DAX, US 30, JPY, and table JPY. Okay, so the way we work, obviously the market just moved quite a bit just before we started, and that's fundamental rather than technical, right? So often when you have fundamentals, somebody's talking, or ECB are giving a press conference, or major data is coming out. So as far as scalping is concerned, you want to stay out of the market 15 minutes before and 15 minutes after, right? So intraday, you really want to stand aside, as simple as that, because nobody knows what's going to happen. Here, if you look at it, is that has shot up by 75 pips. It could have easily gone the other way. Yeah. However, having said that, majority of the times, right, after the fundamental news is being released or the data is out, majority of the times it tends to follow the swing signal which you have here, right? So if we look at the euro dollar, the swing is green, meaning it's bullish, okay? And then I got two bars which are both bullish, and there we go, right? The market shot off. Would I trade that on scalping intraday? Not before the news, but do I have open positions swing trading at before or after these major news are being released? Of course I do. Yeah, of course I do. So the key is so long as you are sensible, you do not have that gambling mindset, you've got a small trade size in relation to your trading equity, right? Then absolutely you can have those positions. Obviously, you would need much bigger stops on swing trading. Yeah, much bigger stops on swing trading and much bigger targets. Okay, so right now, what we are really looking at is you've had a big move to the upside. So if you look at GBP, three of the bars are green, only one is red. So, I'll be looking to buy this. And what am I really looking to buy? So I quickly look at what the 30 minutes is doing. Yeah. So if we look at the 30 minutes chart, right, it is on a nice uptrend. Always focus on the price action, right? Always focus on the price action. And having looked at this, I really need to see momentum about this trigger here, right? And then once we have ascertained the price action over the slightly longer term here, looking at 30-minute, obviously for scalping and intraday, I wouldn't be looking at daily and 4-hourly, right? No, because the daily one, this is going to take one whole day for the candle to change, isn't it? Yeah. So for intraday, personally, I just focus on M30, M5, and then M1 to take the trade. So here, what you see right now is a very nice support at the red pivot. So these colored lines, these are proprietary Bindal pivot points, which comes in with the indicators, right? So the way I want to trade is I don't like to chase the market, okay? Look, fundamental news came. If you look at most of the news channels, right, they will find a reason of why it has gone up. But vast majority of the times, the prices retrace back to where it started. And there we go. That's exactly what's happened, isn't it? Yeah. So, non-farm payrolls, I don't trade. Literally half an hour before, or quite often, I just take a morning off during non-farm payrolls or all of the major news time. Yeah. And I let the market settle down, and then I decide what to do. So here there are two scenarios. Is I'll be looking for a long trade if this level is holding, or a short trade if the red pivot breaks, right? As a trader, I don't care whether the market is going up or the market is going down. Yeah, we don't care, do we? As traders, all we need is for the market to move. As simple as that. If the market moves in one way or the other, we are looking to trade. So if red goes above the yellow, I'm looking to buy. If red breaks, or if I have a 1 to 3 below these pivots, the key is the yellow pivot here, then I'll be looking to sell. Yeah, as simple as that. So that is a watch list for me to be looking to buy. The other, looking at the charts, I would say quite a few are offering some good potential opportunities. Euro dollar here, I would really want to see a nice pullback. Yeah, back to the trigger there. Okay, and then over to the 5 minutes. I really want it all the way down to either the aqua or the yellow pivot, and then I'll be looking to buy that. The other one I would be very interested is German DAX here. As you can see, it's a bullish looking chart. So just looking at M30, it's gone very high, right? And all you're really seeing is a series of higher highs, higher highs, higher highs, higher highs. There's absolutely no way I'll be looking to short this market. But having said that, is on the 30-minute, okay, what is it doing, right? I've now got triple tops there, okay? I've now got a triple top. The signal is bullish. If this triple top breaks, then I think this is gonna go much higher. Now, one of the things what you really want to see happen is it breaks, okay? Having broken, you want to see it retrace back, okay? So the resistance now act on as a support, okay? The resistance act on as a support, and once it retests that, then majority of the time, this is gonna go sky high, okay? So right now, I would say, although this is a bullish looking chart, but it's a 50-50, right? But let's wait and see what the price action is doing back at the pivot points there, all right? I want it to come all the way down to the red or the aqua pivot. Even if it comes down to yellow, all well and good. See earlier on, like the long-term charts here, right? They were bullish. B1 on swing was bullish. B2 has been very bullish, yeah? Often what happens is that when you have for swing trading, when B2 changes color, okay? So here, if you look at it, it changes from red to green. This is really telling me that this is on the watch list to buy. And then look at how the magenta pivot held on so well. The yellow pivot, I had a nice 1, 2, 3 there. Okay, 1, 2, 3, no rocket science. All it is, it's a price action. Fibonacci based is a pullback retracement. Yeah, so that's your 1, that's your 2, that's your 3. So prices now, I really want it to come down. I will never buy anything on a red candle. If I want to buy anything, right, you got to look for support. You can't buy anything if there is no support, period. Yeah, you cannot buy anything if there is no, sorry, I'm just seeing message here. The sound is a bit patchy in moments. Testing.
I think we're okay, Jay. This is Andre. Okay. Yeah, he's isolated it to himself. It's a problem I think he's just having. So we're okay. I can hear you clearly. This is good. While you're here, Jay, one question is just to confirm that the times you work are in BST. This
right.
British time that you're referring to. Yeah, because some people have been asking which time zone you kind of your mind's in, because I know we're looking at all different markets. Okay, thank you.
That's right. Yeah, brilliant. Yeah, so yeah, it's all London time BST. So so yeah, okay. So moving forward, so yeah, that's on my watch list. Basically, see what happens here. Okay, right. So at the moment, it's bouncing, and so like GBP there, it's come all the way down to my red pivot, and I'm just gonna check and see how it responds. I now want it to go above the trigger and the ribbon to turn and start having a momentum above the magenta pivot there. Okay, so that's gonna be on the watch list for me to buy. Okay, but if red breaks, then obviously it is it's not gonna be on my watch list to buy that. One of the things which I don't do is I don't have a trade bias. I'm not married to one type of bias, i.e. Long or short, okay? One moment I could be looking for a long trade. Yeah, this is intraday scalping. And if what I'm looking for does not happen, then obviously I change my bias. So here I say this, I really need the red to hold. If red holds, I'm looking to buy. If red doesn't hold, then I'm looking to sell. As simple as that. Yeah. Okay. So patiently waiting for a trade there. Often scalping, I don't need to be glued to the chart, right? The way I actually go about is I would just simply set alerts, right? So, you know, for example, this is your 1, 2, 3 there, okay? That's your 1, that's your 2, that's your 3, and then I'm watching for the break of the 0.2, the 0.3, the momentum. It breaks there, then I want to see a mini pullback, right? Once that happens, then you take on that trade, okay? What do I mean by mini pullback? So see, like it's actually broken to the upside, okay? And then it comes down, right? And this is when I would actually get in. If this doesn't happen, it goes in one straight line, I'm not really interested. If there's one thing which you can take away from this session here is, and you can test it, you can back test it, right? Majority of the times you do have lots of fake breakouts. Okay, how can you identify those fake breakouts? Normally these are in form of the tails, right? So let's have a look at, for example, the German DAX chart here. Okay, candle patterns. There are zillions of candle patterns, but two of the patterns which I really like is the wick, the tail, and the railway track. Okay, often they are very good, very strong reversal. Okay, just look at that. Yeah, see that's a good breakout here. Okay, now look, a tail or a railway track on its own is no good. Okay, a tail or a railway track on its own is no good. You've got to have confluences of indicators. Yeah, so just look at that. A failure, so bears tried to push it down, bulls came in, and this was a perfect buying opportunity. My indicators here is long anyway. The trigger is green anyway. Ribbon changes the slope, the direction from going downwards to upward. And look at that, that has been worth 600 pips there, okay? So always look out for tails. So here, as I said earlier on German DAX, this is a 50-50, right? It's tried to break this 3 times. Does not necessarily mean that because it failed 3 times, there is no likelihood of it going up. No, support and resistances are there to be broken. As simple as that. Okay, support and resistances are there to be broken. There you go. So cable there, it's broken. Now see that mini pullbacks happening. Now I need it to come as close to the red as possible, right? And then a blast off. Once that happens, we should take a long trade. Okay. Also here, GBP JPY, it's pulling back, right? So there you go. See, I mean, this is how you draw the trend lines. What you're really looking is connecting the tops there. Okay, connecting the tops there. Yeah. Okay, so here again, this is a candidate for a long trade once it gets above the equa. Okay, so I'm watching that. DAX, let's see what happens here. Okay, so there are 3 watch lists for me to take a trade. Euro, I need it to come down to equa or the red pivot. Okay, I can see why it is so important to be patient, patient, patient. Yeah, I needed that momentum above the yellow. Okay, and see why one should not jump in on a break here, right? As I say, if there's one big lesson you can take out of today's session, right? Basically, is that, right? I.e., tail on candle patterns, railway track. I got a question here. Can you expand on railway tracks? Of course I can. I will share some examples whilst the session is going on. And obviously, if we see something live, I'm gonna share it to you. Obviously, railway tracks is not great on lower time frames. It works brilliantly on 30 minutes and above. Yeah, 1 minute you will see lots of railway tracks, but 30 minutes and above, really good opportunities, especially 4-hourly charts, even daily charts for swing trading. All it is, it's what's a track? A railway. One track's going one way, the other track's going the other way. Yeah. So it's a complete reversal of the previous candle. Okay. As we go along, I will share. I'll try and spot something and share it with you. Again, if you another thing you can take away from today's session is a railway track and a wick. Yeah. Okay. So it could be, let's say, one candle's green. Okay, and then the other candle is a complete reversal, like a railway track. It's a red. Okay, but at the moment, I want to focus on these 2 charts. We got a couple of hours, lots of time to take questions. Yeah, I mean, last time I did a live trading session for Simon. Yeah, we picked up some great trades. Obviously, sometimes you need luck. You need that volatility. You need that market movement. And yeah, if there is volatility and it's an orderly move, you get good 1, 2, 3 setups. Then we take on the trade. Yeah.
Jay, just to clarify, we should still be looking at the 8 markets that you've got in front of us at the moment.
Yes, the charts here are GBP USD, which is the top left. Underneath is GBP JPY. Then I got the euro dollar. Underneath that is USD JPY. Then USD Canadian. Underneath that is US 30, which is the index. Right hand side is the Aussie dollar, AUD USD. And underneath that is the German DAX. Okay.
Okay.
Obviously, yeah, go on.
I was just going to ask everybody here: is anybody on a trade in these markets themselves? If you are interested to hear that, Sylvan is saying, "What does your buy and sell button do? Does it bring up order window, or is it a one-click trading?"
Okay, yeah, but that is a one-click trading. What you see here, this is an EA, which is still on my testing mode. Now I do actually have this EA trade for me, and this is the manual version of it. So you see, for example, the manual version here is what I would really be looking for on GBP is a momentum above the magenta, which didn't happen. So I didn't take the trade. Now let's say supposing if I was ready to take the trade, I just click on the buy and sell. So it's just one click and it sets up my stops, it sets up my target, and then I don't need to be glued to it. I don't need to watch it. I can move over onto other charts, or I can simply just pack up and go for a nice walk. Yeah.
Indeed.
Okay, so here, as you can see, is like I didn't get on GBP JPY, I didn't get momentum above the yellow. And these pivots are so powerful, right? They are so powerful that, yeah, they act on as a strong support and resistances, yeah. And obviously, had I had that momentum above yellow, instead of seeing that big red candle down, we could easily have seen a big green candle up. Okay, so key is patience, patience. You only trade according to your trading system. And one of the things which I focus a lot on is pullback and breakout. Okay, so pullback, breakout, the breakout, there's no momentum, so no long here, and same with DAX. Okay, so right now the red has been broken, so longs are out of the window. Yeah. Yeah, as we go along, right at the end, I'll look at a few other charts. For example, US tech, this is on my watch list. I'm long on my swing trading, and I manage my own pension plan, and I'm actually long. And often when the market crashes, it's actually an opportunity, and it's an opportunity to buy. And if you look at NASDAQ, US Technology, QQQ, it's back to where it was before the big crash. On the contrary, it's higher than when the big crash happened. Yeah, right now NASDAQ is at double top, and I'll have a look at the chart later on as we progress. But this is on my watch list. As I say, I'm still long, but it could turn around to be a mother of all shorts, right? I mean, lately I've been watching some of the financial channels, some of the experts coming in and saying that it's now time to buy. And yeah, lots of amateurs are getting sucked in right now. Okay, which is dangerous, because often it's the case is when the market was crashing, amateurs were selling at the bottom, and now they're coming in and buying at the top. Yeah. Like, I'll just have a look at the daily chart here. Is that was that big crash, okay? And if you look at DAX, right? I mean, that was close to 600 pips there, and since then it has recovered nearly 500 pips. Okay, a very bullish looking chart. There is absolutely on a swing trading, absolutely no way I would be looking to short this market right now. Okay, no way I would be looking to short this market right now. But often you will see that the market leaves clues. Okay, here on our live trading webinars, we were looking for shorts right throughout. So there you go. See, that's your daily. And looking over onto that 4-hourly chart, you had a lot of top information here. And this was something which we were covering a lot in our live trading room. Obviously, that's when those pivots come into play. Yeah. But right now, as I say, Nasdaq is certainly long. Absolutely no way I'll be looking to short this on a swing trading. Of course, intraday it's a completely different thing, isn't it? Yeah. But on a swing trade, it is a bullish looking. Okay, there you go. Can you see that big tail here? Okay, again a very good example there. The bears try to drive the market lower. Okay, you had that double bottom breaks there. Okay, it failed to have momentum or fail to have legs below here, and then really you're looking for confluences of indicators, and as soon as you see the ribbon turning, you take a trade. Okay, somebody asked about railway tracks. This is a perfect example of a railway track. Do you see that? That's a bullish candle, and then the next candle is a complete reversal. Okay, complete reversal. So that's a good example of a railway track. And see, the positioning of it is so important. Yeah, i.e., it was exactly at the trigger. The trigger was red. Yeah, so which is really telling me that this market is not quite ready to go up, and that was just closer to 1,000 pip move there. Okay, look, that's another example of a railway track there. Do you see that? Very strong bullish candle, but a complete reversal, right? Complete reversal. And then obviously, as I said earlier on, always look for confluences of indicators, right? There you go. From here, this was worth just under 400 pips there. Okay, so yeah, couple of you did ask about a railway track. Very good example, right? There are so many candles out there, but I tell you what, me personally, I don't look at all of them. The only ones which I personally look at is a tail, a wick, and a railway track. Yeah, just these two is enough for me. And then obviously the key is you look for confluences of indicators. Yeah. Okay. Here again, see there you got that big tail there, right? Right up at that trend line. Now, obviously, I would have wanted a pullback, a 1, 2, 3, and then I would have taken a trade there. Okay, so euro has come all the way back down to the pivot. Okay, right now everything is green there, so this is a candidate for a long. Okay, you know, just look at it, right? You got news, fundamental. Now, you know, if somebody asks me what was the news, okay, I'll be honest and say, look, I don't care. I really don't care what the news was, because you know what? A good example is you could well have like non-farm payrolls, 2 consecutive months, right? It would be identical, but 1 month you could see the market is shooting up. The other month you could see the market is going complete opposite, right? Often you will see, you know, so-called gurus, news analysts, they'll be giving you reasons of why XYZ happens, right? There's no better trading system than price action, right? I don't trade the news, I keep away from it. But after the news has come out, I simply look for a reversal, right? So obviously in this particular case, you know, cable is just gone below from where it started before the news, right? Had this happened, I would have traded above the magenta pivot. Didn't happen, so I didn't take a trade, right? Same with DAX here. I was looking for a trade there. Yeah. The key is I trade the pullbacks. I don't trade the breakouts, because breakouts, you may get it right a few times, right? But vast majority of the time. Now imagine if amateurs would have gotten in on this trade here. Yeah, breakout, they get in here. Now they're sitting on that massive loss on day. Yeah, okay. You could have easily seen it go a little bit lower, right? People could get sucked in, right? And then it could easily reverse and go up and break this very strong resistance there. Yeah. Would I trade that aggressively? Yes, I would, right? Yes, I would. Okay. Nothing wrong in taking aggressive trade, but they should be sort of like a well thought out trade. Yeah. Okay. Question here. Time frame. So right now, for scalping intraday, all the charts here I'm looking is 5 minutes, right? 5 minutes, and then when I'm ready to enter, I zoom over onto a 1 minute chart. Yeah. So right now here, euro dollar, that's a 5 minute chart. Okay. There you go. So see, it's come all the way down, back to those pivot points. I need that break. Now, GBP USD, it's scalping intraday is bearish, swing trading is bullish. Okay. So DAX now, see earlier on, I had one, I would say 3 green. Now I've got 2 red, 2 green. So I'm quite fast to change my bias from longs to short. Okay, I was looking for longs earlier on, and now I'll be quite happy to look for a short on a pullback back to the red pivots. Patience is the key. And also one of the things what I don't do is I never chase these long candles. Yeah. Vast majority of the times, yeah, as I say, vast majority of the times what happens is you always get a pullback. Sometimes you don't get a pullback. Yeah. But vast majority of the times you do get a pullback. So here say euro, that's a big candle. Yeah, often you will see it shoots off and then comes back down with a big tail there, right? So see, for example, here, see, this would have been a big green candle, right? Green, and then it turns bearish and red, okay? So often FOMO comes into play. Amateurs, they'll see that big candle and they say, oh, I don't want to miss out on this. They get sucked in, right? So this is where I use my M1. So see, having it broken, I'm now looking for that pullback, okay? And then hopefully up it goes, yeah? So yeah, I mean, if there's no pullback, I'm really not interested. As simple as that. If there's no pullback, I'm really not interested in the trade. I would rather miss a trade. I mean, obviously, like for the purposes of this webinar, I'm only looking at 8 charts, but generally I'm looking at 40, 50. As I said earlier on, when Simon asked, what do I look? I said, I'll look at anything that moves. Yeah, anything that moves. I mean, obviously, I've been covering oil a lot. And I think I've done pretty well out of oil. Obviously, I mean, that's something which I also trade on my ISA. So like guys in UK, you'll know what an ISA is, or a SIP, a pension fund. I manage it, and yeah, I've been long on oil. I still am, and yeah, I also been covering Bitcoin a lot. This is on trading. 10,000 on Bitcoin is critical. Okay, here I'm looking for momentum, so I'll be looking to take a trade there. So bang, I've taken a trade here on GBP, and see my stop is just there. So I'm just gonna move a little bit lower, right? Just a little bit lower, okay, because it's there at support there, yeah. So I've taken a long trade, and once the trade's taken, I really don't need to look at my 1 minute charts, right? I really then want to focus on the higher time frame. This is my TP1. I often break my position. Oh gosh, something's happened on my, sorry, I think I've accidentally closed that. Okay. I'll have to do. Oh, actually, I remember. Yeah, this is my my EA, which I use the buttons here. So yeah, well, what it does, it prevents me taking. I need to sort that out for my live webinar. So yeah, what it does, it prevents me taking a scalping trade using those buttons when these are red. Okay, So when these are red, so it took the trade, but within the next minute, it actually closed the trade. Okay, so I'll have to look for a manual trades shortly in a minute. So yeah, that's the programming which I've got in place, you know, which is sort of like these buttons. I only use it for scalping, intraday. But that trade which I took was based on my swing trade there. Yeah. So it literally took me out on a break even. Yeah. Okay. So there's no momentum above the red pivot, as you can see there. Okay, Aussie dollar is another one which I'd be looking. Okay, cable, red is holding on. I'll be looking for shorts. See here, I was looking for a long, right? Red, I don't have momentum above. So literally, I've changed my bias completely, yeah? DAX, I need a pullback back to the red pivot. Okay, cable, 5 minutes ago was long. I've taken a short trade here. Okay, euro here. See, that's a breakout. See this big candle up. Now, guys who would have taken a long here, right, would have got sucked in. Okay, so I'll be looking for, again here, we're just scalping, okay, using that 1 minute. It could work, it could not, but the key is if it works, all well and good. If it doesn't work, you cut the losses, right? That's the key, is your losses must be small, right? Your losses must be small. And the winners has to be big. The question here was on what grounds were you taking long on cable a few minutes ago? Yeah, that was, I was looking at the swing part of it, yeah, okay. And although the intraday was red, but I was looking for a quick bounce back reversal there. And then obviously only to be sort of resisted at the red pivot there, yeah. 2:30 London time, that's when the US markets open. And that's when I tend to avoid trading the US 30. We've got about 30 minutes there. So I tend to avoid this. DAX, if we get a setup, fine. We'll look at that, yeah. Okay, Aussie, I've got a breakout, so I'm now looking for a bit of a pullback, right? Okay, here I'll be looking for longs here once I get that momentum going up. The spread on US 30 is around 1.5 pip on the brokers that I use. Yeah. So here is cable. If I get momentum above the red pivot, I'll basically close and and then take that tiny loss. Yeah. Okay, so I've actually exited from my cable because I got momentum above the red pivot there. So again, that's another thing if you take away from this section, like, you know, profit is not the end goal, right? What is your main goal is the discipline, right? The main goal is the discipline. Now, if you focus on your trading plan, if you focus on the trading system, if you focus on risk management, right? Then the byproduct of all that is money, isn't it? Right? Right? The byproduct of all that is money. The key is, right? The key is cut the losses, right? Cut the losses and let the winners run. Cut the losses and let the winners run. Like on that PowerPoint presentation, I'd actually shown an example of, I think it was Euro-Aussie dollar, 400 pip move, covered something in our live trading room. Yeah. I think we had a similar situation the other day, covered in the live trading room. Again, it was, I believe it was Euro New Zealand. Obviously, we cover so many trades in our live webinars. And the move was 150 pips. And what we do is we often check up with the members. How have they gone and done it? Some members had closed like TP1 for 8 to 10 pips, TP2 to 0, meaning that they missed out on a big move, which was worth 150 pips. Okay, some members banked 20 pips, some members banked 50 pips. Quite a few members stayed on until they got stopped out. When by stopped out, it is a trailing stop, right? So one of the things when going is my way is I trail the stops, right? If somebody tells me, Jay, what's your forecast, where it's gonna go, right? I'll put hand on my heart and say, look, I'm sorry. There is no way anybody can forecast what's going to happen, right? Oil went down to negative, went down to zero. It's never happened, right? And I don't think it's ever going to happen ever again in my living life. But it happened, didn't it? Yeah, it happened. So one of the things what I do, like oil, when it was crashing down, every time was pulled back to the ribbon, I was adding to the winners, adding to the winners, adding to the winners, right? What do amateurs do? They add to the losers, they add to the losers, right? No, that's not the way, right? The way to succeed in the market is adding to the winners, trailing the stops, not snatching the profit. If there is 400 pip on the table, right? If there is 400 pip on the table, why take 20 pips? It's a crime, yeah? So nobody knows whether it's gonna go down up to 400 or down by 400, yeah? Nobody knows, right? So how you could maximize that is by letting the winners run. And you know what? It's not wrong to take a loss, right? It's not wrong to take a loss. So if the chart is not doing what you expect it to do, then get out. It's as simple as that. Yeah, just get out. Key is take that small loss. I mean, often, it's like when we are trading live, obviously in our live webinar, it's myself and my son Bhavesh. He trades alongside me. I mean, he's a qualified chartered accountant, packed up his practice, and now he's a full-time trader. Okay. And one of the things what he does is there's lots of live trading webinars, and he is letting the winners run. Okay, right. So GBP there now is so my emphasis now would be on the long side, is for it to pull back down to the red, and then I would be looking to take on a trade there. Yeah. Reading some of the comments here. Thanks for teaching me it's okay to take losses. Absolutely, yes. It's okay to take losses. Okay, Ozzy here. I really needed a pullback. Yeah. DAX here, pull back to the red. So the way I really want is this to happen there. Yeah. Pull back up to the red, and then a failure, and then it to come down. Yeah. So we are like around 20 minutes before the US market opens. Okay, whilst we wait for those setups, I'll Let's see whether I can have a look at some of the charts. Okay, EU here. I'll be looking for that momentum. Say in the last sort of 10, 15 minutes, it's just sort of become a bit messy. So I'll looking to take a long here with my stops just below there. So quick here, if I look at that 30 minutes, it's been a nice pullback. See that big tail there, big tail? Okay, I've taken a long trade on euro dollar. I'm back over onto the 5-minute chart. So say, having taken the trade, I don't need to be glued to it, right? Two things could happen. Either my stops get hit or my target gets hit, isn't it? Yeah, I don't care. So long as your stops are small, right? Your targets are big, right? You're fine, right? I remember, once on our live trading seminar, we start at 7:30 a.m. London time. We carry on till European market close. Sometimes we have even carried on till 9 p.m. for the US market close. Yeah, I tell you what, one day I actually started with, I think it was 3 to 4 losing trades. Now, can you imagine? This is not a webinar, so you're not hiding behind the screen, right? You are there live in person, right? With 20 or so traders. Okay, sometimes I've actually done live trading. Some, like for example, I've done one for Simon at Finacle Bank. I'd actually taken a live trade on US 30 on that day, which was worth 200 pips, right? I took the trade, had my stops, had the target, and I was looking at other charts. But you know what? Some of the guys in the audience, they were more worried. Jay, why are you not looking at that chart? Oh, Jay, it's 30 pips in profit. Jay, it's 50 pips in profit. But I said, look, you've set your stops, you set your targets, you move on. You don't need to be glued to check each and every move, right? You don't need to. So see, for example, here, the Euro USD, this is my initial target, which I'll probably just move it a little lower, right? That's my TP1. Now let's look at the other. This is my next target, okay? So should my TP1 hit, then my next target is just under 120 pips, okay? How much am I risking? Not a lot, 20 odd pips. No big deal if I get stopped out, right? No big deal. So that's the key, is you got to let the winners run. Detach from the chart, right? Detach from the chart, right? The only time you are glued to this is when you are getting ready to take the trade. As simple as that. The webinars, yes, we do do the recordings, which obviously we then give it out to members. But the whole day live trading, unfortunately, that's not recorded. because it's a whole day long. Yeah, it's a whole day long. Okay, I promised to have a look at the US technology. Let's start with daily chart, right? Look at that big crash. It's back to where it started, right? Back to where it started. Look, during that up move, you got these tails, but again, tail on its own is meaningless, right? Again, another thing you can take from this session here is confluences of indicators, right? You could have like a MACD divergence. A MACD divergence on its own, it's useless, right? Because it could keep going up, 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 and up. Like, you could have a bearish divergence, right? Always look for confluences of indicators, right? Always look for confluences of indicators, right? That's the key, right? That's the key. Always look for confluences of indicators, right? So right now, just because there is a double top, right, does not necessarily mean that I need to short this, okay, right? Just because it's a double top or there's a double bottom does not necessarily mean you need to short this, right? Because support and resistances are there to be broken. And I tell you what, is once this breaks, yeah, if this breaks, you have something like this, then, this is going sky high. It really is going sky high, okay? Right? So always look for confluences of indicators. So I've given you lots of tips here today, guys. Yeah, and I do hope you are making notes. I do hope that you put to practice what you learn. But I'm long this, right? I'm heavily long. My ISAs, my SIP is heavily long. I've taken some profits, but only some, right? But I'm really watching for Nasdaq here. So what are the shares which I would actually be looking to short? There would be likes of Apple, Facebook, Netflix, etc., etc. Yeah, but look at that. It's a very bullish looking chart, really bullish. But if here this happens, right? I'm really looking to short this. And this is going to be a mother of all shorts. Okay, so you got this happening here. Now, the way I would then go about is that look for your entries on a lower time frame. So often for swing trading, I'm looking at a 4-hourly chart and 30 minutes. Yeah. So here, just look at that. Higher high, higher high, higher high, higher high, higher high, higher low, higher low, higher low. So at every pullback, what are you trying to do? Every pullback, you're trying to get on the trade, right? So break off the 2 to 3 line. I'm looking to enter here. I'm looking to enter here. Okay. Often, what do MHs do? Is as soon as they see this, they panic, they short, and guess what? Pros get in, they buy, amateurs then bail out, they take that loss, now they buy at the top. As soon as they bought, the damn thing goes down, right? So I tell you what is, again, another thing that you can take from this is use your Fibonacci's, use your 1, 2, 3s, right? Use your break of 2 to 3 lines, and that's when you're actually taking this trade. Yeah, so bullish. There's no way I'm looking to short this, right? Then on the 30 minutes, what I really want to see happen is the trigger to break decisively, right? So here, for example, see these Bindal alerts, right? These are my long signals. That was a short trade, yeah, but it didn't work out. But you would have had enough to get your TP1, okay, enough to get your TP1. So that was worth about 80 pips, okay. So your TP1's taken, then your TP2, you're trailing the stops, and then as soon as this breaks, the trigger turns green, you are stopped out. Yeah, you are stopped out, isn't it? Right. So here, this is on my watch list. So what I really want this to happen. Okay, some of you would be saying that, hey Jay, but you got a live trade. You know what? I'm not at all worried whether I've been stopped out or whether my targets hit. I don't care, right? I'm busy looking at other charts. Okay, so this is what I'm looking for to happen on DAX. Okay, this to break, pull back, and then down she goes. Yeah. So I tell you what, this is another thing you can take away from this session here, is put this on a watch list. If you are long, don't bail out. Stay long, stay long, stay long, because if this breaks, this is going sky high. It really is. If this doesn't break and this happens, then this is gonna collapse. It's gonna be a mother of all shorts. Yeah. Okay. Right. Let's look at euro dollar. Okay. My target of TP1's been hit. Okay. My target of TP1's been hit whilst I was talking. Okay. Now, what do? Is I now, because this is intraday, okay, I'm just going to move the stop above the pivots, just below my entry, in between the ribbon, right? So the next thing here is look, if this breaks, right, I think it's gonna go up. So I would still be in my trade, right? Then as soon as this breaks, I then starts to move the stop to entry and above entry, okay? So German DAX, definitely looking for a watch list here for a mega short, right? This could be a mother of all shots, believe me. Okay, we are 10 minutes away from the US market opening. This is giving me a potential sell signal here. This is German DAX. So just waiting. So I need a pullback back to the red, and then down she goes. Yeah, I could take an aggressive trade here. Okay, I could take an aggressive trade, but then my stops is just gonna be about the red pivot. But if I can get a bit of a pullback and then down, we'll see. As soon as the US markets open, two things could happen, right? So I'm just looking at the M30 chart. Okay, I've got a nice support here. Okay, and see that big tail again. See the confluences there, right? A tail on its own, it's meaningless, it's useless, right? But the tail happened at double bottom, which means the bears tried to take the market down. They failed to do it, right? Got a break there, down, and up she goes. Yeah. So here is at the market open, anything could happen. Yeah, anything could happen. Often it shoots off. I mean, do I have open positions during market? Of course, yes. Yeah, but these are swing. Scalping? No, definitely not. Unless it's in a massive profit. Yeah, unless it's in a massive profit. Okay, your euro dollar now it's about 22 pips in profit. Yeah, 22 pips. But see how I took the GBP trade didn't work out. I came out for a tiny, tiny, tiny loss, right? Very tiny loss. Took my TP1 on euro dollar that paid for my tiny loss on GBP. Now, I don't know what's going to happen here. I mean, this could break, this could resist. I don't know. Yeah. Okay. So I'm watching for this one here. I'll be looking for a trade. It'll be an aggressive trade because the market's going to open shortly. Yeah. Patiently waiting on German DAX. If I get a setup shortly, then fine. But if it's very close to 230, then definitely not. Yeah. It would be a bit of an aggressive trade, which often I don't mind taking an aggressive trade if I've got confluences of indicators. Yeah. See, so long as you don't go above board and take that massive trade size. So even if it supposing move 70 pips against you, that's bearable. Yeah. Then it's like often I see some retail traders, they could have like a £5,000 account size, but the trading standard lots and big lots. No, you don't do that. Yeah, you don't do that. It's about 5 minutes to go before US markets open. I need the momentum below the trigger. Okay. And with this one here, say it's at the red pivot, I got my aqua, yellow, magenta. You know what? This chart here, if magenta breaks today, keep a note of that. That's at 12,360. If magenta breaks today, and you get, well, first the yellow needs to break. Magenta breaks, I think this could be big move, really big move. Yeah. really big move there. Okay. If on the other hand, prices retrace, breaks yellow, magenta holds, then if I'm short, I'm looking for longs. Simple. Yeah. As trader, we don't care, right? We don't care whether the market's going up or the market's going down. Okay. It's only 3 minutes before the market open. Only 3 minutes before the market open. Now I'm sitting on a nice profit buffer. I've taken a trade here. So I've gone short. It is an aggressive trade. Okay, I repeat, it is an aggressive trade, right? My stops there, I'm just gonna move it slightly higher. So at the market open, should the market shoot off, it's gonna take me out, right? It's gonna take me out, and then I'll have a small loss. Okay. Now, what are my targets? That's my first target. My second target, okay, look, I'm just moving it there. I don't know what's going to happen. Nobody knows. Nobody knows, okay? So just going back, if this works out, all well and good, right? Initially, it's just under 300 pips. Is it? I'm not after 5, 10, 15, 20 pips. No, no. You should be after big pips. Fine, trade's done. I'm not interested in that. Yeah, I can now move over and look for another opportunity there, isn't it? Yeah. Okay, GBP JPY. Okay, there you go. I've actually got a break here. Right, there you go. So let's just have zoom out a bit. So clean up the chart. So any trend lines that I don't require, take it out. See how clean my charts are? Yeah. So I've got a break here. So now what I really want to happen with GBP JPY is I need it to go back up a bit. Okay. And then down she goes. Okay. Go back up to that yellow, so red or yellow pivot, and then down. Okay, because see right now I've got 3 of the bars are red there. Okay, aggressively, yes. You see, often like when I'm aggressively trading, then yeah, I would actually take on trades here with my stop just above, right? Okay, so that's how you actually manage that. And if it works, you'll have a big move there. Yeah, obviously, you know, you can watch us trade live, as I said earlier on. You know, we got a whole day live trading webinar, which is next week. There you go. That's the link here. Okay. BindalFX.com, fxlive.php. The cost of that is just going to be £10, right? Sorry, it's 17th of June. My apologies, right? So 17th of June, starting at 7:30 a.m., ending at 8:30 p.m. All London time, BST. Yeah. So back over onto our charts. So you should be able to see the charts now. Okay, let's see what's happening with DAX. Markets opened, nothing much is really happening. US is going up. Okay. So that big candle is not being replicated here. See, my stops are very small, so I'm happy to leave it as it is, right? I don't panic, and I don't come out. Here is the first is I need the break of the yellow pivot. Because you see right now it's above magenta, above yellow. It's just sandwiched in between the red and the aqua here. Yeah. Okay, US 30. Let's just have a quick look at US 30. Okay. Bullish looking chart. Yeah. Bullish looking chart there. Key point there is I've got a double top here. If this doesn't break, I would be very interested in a short trade there. Okay, I'd be very interested in a short trade. Okay, GJ, GBP, JPY, it's doing that pullback. Okay, I'll be looking for a short trade on a momentum below. So see, I've got 3 reds. Yeah, 3 bars are red. Euro dollar, we're still in the trade. I've still not bothered to move my stop. Stop is still there. Okay, because you know what, if this breaks, I can expect it to go much, 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 much higher. Okay, right here, I could just about look to take a trade here. Okay, those lines I don't need, I come out. GBP, nothing much messy looking, so I'm gonna avoid the GBP JPY. I'll be looking to take a trade on a momentum just around here. Yeah. See, patiently waiting. Yeah. Euro dollar, yeah, we're doing good there. Okay. Need this to break. I think once that breaks, I'll only move my stops after this break. If I get stopped out, I get stopped out, no big deal. Yeah. Okay, USD JPY, yeah, could have taken this as a trade earlier on. Obviously, sometimes, like, you are also doing training, question and answers, and stuff like that. So sometimes it is a bit difficult, but this would have been, as a tutorial, this would have been a good trade setup there. Okay, see, it crashes all the way down, right? And see the pullback, right? So a really nice, pullback there. Okay. Canadian, nothing much. I mean, this is a bit messy. So if you really look at what's been happening last few days, it's actually going sideways. Okay, but this is on my watch list for a long. Okay, this is on a watch list for a long. So again, if this is another thing you can take away from this session here, what I'm really looking is this to happen here. Yeah. Okay. So I don't trade the breakouts. Okay, I trade the pullback. Do you often have one big straight line? Yes, sometimes, but not all the time. Yeah, maybe 20% of the time you'll have one big straight line, but you'll always get a pullback. You'll always get a pullback, right? So put this on a watch list. Right now, it's a very, very bearish looking chart. Just look at H4. Okay, I mean, it could really go down to here, isn't it? Yeah. Okay. So there's absolutely no way I'll be looking to long this. Okay, unless you get a 1, 2, 3 there. So it's a messy chart. Even that 4-hour chart. See, there's absolutely no momentum. But the way things are going, it's highly probable that it could go down, right? Right, just price action, right? Just price action. Okay. Yeah, I've got 2 running positions. Let's just have a quick look at German DAX. Okay, my TP1's been hit. Okay, see, it's right up there at yellow. So look, I was looking at other charts. Okay, so my TP1 target's been hit. I think stop now. I'm just going to bring it below red. Okay, my stop, I'm just going to bring it below red. Now look at my TP2 target. So look, how much am I risking? How much am I risking? Very little, very little. My TP1's been hit. And see, I wasn't even looking at the chart, was I? Yeah, and all the way down. Will I get it? I don't know. I honestly don't know. If I get it, fine. If I don't get it, what's my risk? Very little, right? Guys, that is the way to trade, right? Often, it's like when newbie members join me. I remember sometime back, I actually had a newbie member, like, a trade like this. We covered, I think it was a gold trade we had actually covered, right? It's like we said, it's a long 200 pip move, but as soon as it goes up, this red candle, they panic, they come out, they go short, long, short. And when I'd actually seen this is part of coaching. We do one-to-one mentoring as well. We hold your hand, we help you with your mental fitness, your trader psychology. The key is to limit the number of trades, right? Limit them. If you're doing lots of in, out, in, out, in, out, who's getting rich? Not you. The broker is. Broker's getting the spread, isn't it? Yeah, the broker's getting all that spread. So the key point is get in, take your TP1, trail stops, add to the winners. So, a chart like this, right? Adding to the winners here. Okay, I would be adding to the winners there. I mean, obviously, there are other charts there. I mean, the whole purpose is not just to make money. I want to teach you guys as well. Yeah, money is not the end result, is it? Who would say money is the end result? No. Do not focus on the money, right? Do not focus on the money. Do not focus on the fruits of your action, but focus on the discipline. When you focus on the discipline, when you focus on the trading plan, what is the byproduct of that? The byproduct of that is money, isn't it? Yeah, the byproduct of that is money. So you should be looking to add. So these red candles, treat this as your friend. The 1, 2, 3 is your friend, right? The 1, 2, 3 is your friend. Right? So focus on the process, focus on the pullback. When the pullback is happening, do not panic and say, wow, the pullback's happening. It's time to add to my winners, isn't it? Right? So when you say, wow, it's time to add to the winners, right? What's happening to that psychology of you? the psychology, that mental fitness. You are now in the flow. There is no panic. Yes, there is no panic. There is no fear. And when there is no fear, there is confidence. When there is confidence, you take the trade. When you take the trade, it goes against you. Again, you don't need to panic and exit and rush out. You got to give that trade a chance to work for you or to work against you. Yeah. Okay. So this is how to trade. Add to the winners. Again, another fantastic technique I've shared today, right? I'm sure you guys are making notes. I'm sure you will have had a dozen ideas which you are, taking from this. It's immaterial whether you come to BindalFX coaching program. That's not the thing. My main motive here is to coach you and to guide you, because you know what? Trading mastery is a child's play. It truly is a child's play. Okay, repeat it. It truly is a child's play. How can it become a child's play? Is when you manage the trade, you manage the risk. How can it be a child's play? When you focus on the process, not the money. When you focus on the money, when you're always looking at the bottom line, what's happening, right? What's happening? You're not in the flow. Greed comes into play. There has to be a good balance between the fear and the greed. Yes or yes? Yeah, there has to be a good balance between fear and greed. You got to give that trade a chance to work for you or to work against you, right? If the trade is not going in your favor, get out. Don't average. Don't add to the losers. Yeah. Okay. US 30. Okay, it's a nice 1, 2, 3 is happening. Bullish looking chart. Okay, I would want to short at yellow, sorry, long at yellow, short below red. There's no way I would want to be looking to short this one here. Yeah. Okay, Simon, I think we're coming closer to our 3 p.m. We've got 2 live trades going. Happy to take on any questions if anybody has any as we're approaching the end.
Yeah, just maybe one question. You've done really well to keep up with the questions as we've gone through, and you've done great to keep the commentary going, because not only are you looking at all the charts and trading and looking for the
live trading, I'm looking at about 40 charts,
Yeah. But again, it's just that talent to keep what you're saying is good sense, and it's good advice as well. So we've had some positive comments coming back from that. Everybody's been staying tuned. Just one question there from David saying, hi Jay, do you always use the same calculations for TP1 and TP2? It looks like it's about 0.6 times R for TP1, and I'm not sure on TP2, is it 3 times R?
Yeah, I would say my TP2 often it's much larger. Yeah, much larger. It's not static. It all depends on like a chart to chart. You see, for example, let's say if I was looking at euro dollar, my stops and targets would be, say, much lower compared to, let's say, in pip terms, say if you were looking at euro Aussie dollar. Yeah. In pip terms, euro Aussie could often be, even on scalping intraday, about 50 to 60 pips. Yeah. But then obviously the moves are monstrous, isn't it? You easily, like a couple of days ago, was like a 600 pip move or so. So the way I would go about is, let's say, okay, something like this. Okay, it's an H4 chart, but let's assume it was an intraday 5-minute chart. So if I had entered here, okay, so entry has to be as close to the trigger line as possible, and because it's a short, my stop is going to be above the trigger and above the previous high. Okay, So this would be my stop loss here. So that's why I'm really looking for as big a pullback as possible. Say, supposing if anybody would have shorted here, then stops would be very high. Yeah. So use your 1, 2, 3 setups to ascertain your stop loss. So if you've got a 60-70% pullback, then your stop's going to be tiny, isn't it? Yeah. Hope that answers.
Fantastic. Yeah. Just again, a question on. In fact, maybe I typed this into the chat box. The link for people who are wanting to do the next event. Yeah, there we are.
There you go. Okay, so I've got 2 sessions here. This is going to be completely free. So this is one of my Facebook page, Genius 1008. Okay.
Can I draw people's attention as well? There's a screenshot button just at the top of your screen. Is a little picture of an old camera, and it says screenshot. If you press that, guys, that will just save this image as an image onto your desktop or somewhere, so you can capture these, or you can take a picture with your phone, of course, something like that.
Yeah,
just to record.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, well done, Simon. So yeah, so we will have an update on our Facebook page. So this is again a completely free webinar, Paradigm Shift for Trading Success. So like today, see, I've actually covered a lot on trader psychology, right? So on that day, as it's a weekend, obviously no charts, no trading. It is just trader psychology, yeah? So at the weekend, I will have a link on how to register. So just keep watching this. And this is a whole day live trading. So exactly like, you know, what you've actually seen us do. We're going to be 2 traders. So starting at 7:30 a.m. London time, finishing just before 9 p.m. London time. Of course, in between, we'll have lots of coffee breaks, lunch breaks, and so on. Yeah. And then, of course, we got the live in person a whole day. So basically, you get to see us live in person. We limit the class size to only about 20. So obviously, it all depends on the current lockdown situation. If everything is okay, then
that's anybody's question.
Sorry.
Yeah, that's a big question.
Yes.
Who knows where we're going to be? Things are happening very slowly.
Absolutely.
So yeah, I want to be excused for that. However, it's my birthday on the 31st of July, so I won't be able to.
Simon, come over, join us on the day.
Where's better to spend the birthday? I can't think of anything.
I think I'll remember that day.
I will keep my fingers crossed for lockdown to be well and truly over by then, so I can travel and attend that.
That's right. Yes, let's hope so. Yeah, if the lockdown's still in place, then obviously we'll replace that with a live trading webinar. Okay. Okay, guys. I hope you've taken a screenshot or a picture of all those links. And as I say, you know, if you do need to contact me, like that's the telephone number. Obviously, when I'm live trading, I don't tend to answer the phones, but send me a brief message, and then at a mutually convenient time, we can have a brief discussion. Yeah.
Yeah, and as always, you're welcome just to contact me by email, and I will forward any communication on to Jay.
And see, whilst we're talking about, sorry, Simon.
Nothing. Just getting good messages coming back here, which is great. Andre's, yeah, 31st of July. That's the big day for me, Andre. Thanks, says William. Great. Yeah, it's been a good event. Thank you very much. Where are we leaving things, Jay? I lost track a little bit. Have we got any open positions
yes,
at the moment?
Okay. our DAX trade got stopped out, right? So see that was a very tiny loss there, because after the TP1 got hit, I moved the stops just closer to entry. So see how powerful these pivot points are, okay? It came down, it bent over TP1, but see the tails at the yellow pivot, yeah? Okay, so we are out of this now. Euro dollar, yeah, we're still in there. So my stop is just below entry. I'm going to leave it as it is for, I mean, right now it's 26 pips profits, right, which is pretty good. DAX, we've made good profit. TP2 got stopped out for a tiny loss there. So overall a profit. But looking at this one here, is look at that. That's a bullish looking candle, isn't it? It's a 4-hour chart. So see, the way I go about is I use the lower time frames to enter. I use the higher time frames for my exits. Yeah.
I get you. Yep.
So here I got a good momentum. So there's a good possibility. So going back over into a 30-minute, I get a close here. I think I'm definitely gonna get my TP2 target hit. So see, the risk is tiny, 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 but the target is big. I could easily have 50% losing trades and still make massive sums. You know, you don't need to go for 80-90% winning trades. No. Yeah. Okay. So again, this is a good example of how one stays in and lets the winners run. Yeah. Okay.
Absolutely.
Any other questions?
Well, we will update us on when these trades hit their stops. If you can, give me a call, Jay. And
yes, I will.
Pass that.
I'll email you the chart, Simon. Yeah.
That would be great, and I'll send an email around to everybody that's been here today, just so we can see where we. It's always nice to see the position. I know you don't have any control over what the markets are going to do, but you know this is only for demonstration purposes only. But it's a real account. You're doing the real trade, and we appreciate that. It's all very real, and that's what separates you, Jay, I think, from quite a few of the other educators that we see. So listen, my thanks to you, because that's been a great couple of hours of analysis and trading, and you've given us a lot of information, as you always do. So on behalf of everybody here, thank you, Jay Lakhani at BindalFX. As always, if you want to contact Jay, just drop me an email, and I'll happily forward it on to him. But I think we're pretty much talked out. I think you need a break, a glass of water.
Absolutely.
Time to reflect.
Okay, so, Simon, take care, and thanks for having me on, and God bless, guys. Stay safe and happy trading, and remember one thing: trading mastery is a child's play. Okay, thank you.
It
Bye-bye.
is indeed. Thank you, Jay Lakhani. There we go. That fantastic couple of hours, guys. Thanks for staying with us. Those of you that managed to stay with us the whole way, we've had a great attendance today. Really pleased with that. So I hope that's helped, and maybe one or two of you have been following the trades. So hopefully it's been a profitable afternoon. Wish you well. We will be back again next week. Got some more events coming up, so stay tuned for that. We'll keep in touch. So all the best to you, and take care for now. Bye bye.